Some were once concubines of the shogun, and there are lots whose fathers were once retainers of some daimyo who have since lost power. It was the same centuries ago when the Taira fell from Minamoto. You'll find, my friend, that in the gutters of this floating world, much of the trash consists of fallen flowers. And that opens up the second chapter of the Book of Fire. This chapter is Reunion at Osaka, and it continues off the previous chapter where the main focus is on Matahachi and the ways of the wrong path. So, to recap last chapter, Matahachi has stolen money from a dead samurai. He's also stolen a certificate, and he's played it off in his mind as he is going to do the right thing and return the money, find the family, and return the certificate. However, Matahachi finds himself in the trapments of the world, the way of the world, the easy path. So he finds a home that seems to be abandoned, but it's a priest's home. So it's not fancy, it looks run down, but it's a priest's. And he goes inside, finds nobody, finds food. He eats the food. He also drinks the sake. And he passes out and he falls asleep in the house. The priest happens to come home after trying to earn a living, like most people do. They earn a living. Matahachi has found it easy to steal, cheat, lie. This is part of Matahachi's upbringing, and this is why I say that the women in this book are essential to the storyline. The women are vital to understand the whole book, right? And here we see what has happened to Matahachi in his upbringing and the ways that he has been taught to find the easy path. Excuses for everything. The priest comes home and he finds Matahachi, and the priest is upset that Matahachi has eaten his food and is drinking his sake. And the priest tries to explain to Matahachi by waking him up and saying, "You've eaten my life. There's no more food for me, and food is life." Matahachi tries to play it off, and he says something along the lines of, "Oh, that was third-rate sake," as if the sake meant nothing to Matahachi, but it meant the world to the priest. So the priest gets super upset, and this priest happens to be an old samurai, and he subdues Matahachi, and he finds that as he's pummeling Matahachi, money starts to fall out of Matahachi's, and he sees the money, and then he realizes, I'm making a mistake. The priest realizes I shouldn't be overtaken by things of the world, right? So money, gold, silver, food. You'll find food, you'll find money again, right? You'll make money, you'll earn money, you'll come by. Life might be hard at that moment, but eventually do the right things and it will come again. What you will not gain again is your spirit, your eternal life, your soul. Once you ruin it, it's over. You will not get those things back. Money comes and goes. Food comes and goes. Sake comes and goes. Bad or good, it's going to come and it's going to go. So he realizes, hey, I made a mistake. Matahachi takes it as a reason for him to think that he has won over the priest. In reality, the priest realizes that fighting Matahachi is futile. There's nothing there for him. After he was gone, Matahachi started wondering whether it had been right of him to offer the old priest money from the dead samurai's pouch. Soon he'd solved his dilemma by telling himself there couldn't be any harm in just borrowing some, provided it wasn't a lot. If I deliver these things to the dead man's home the way he wanted me to, he thought, I'll have to have money for expenses, and what choice do I have but to take it out of the cash I have here? This easy rationalization was so comforting that from that day on, he began using the money little by little. So again, he doesn't learn. He doesn't understand the lesson that he just received from the priest. He doesn't get it. And again, this has to do with upbringing of a child. The mother, the caretaker, the morals and the lessons that these children as youths should learn to, so that when you're 22, 23-year-old man, you know what to do when you run into these situations. So Matahachi moves along and he goes to another city and he runs in to an innkeeper, and there he finds what he thinks is a samurai, and they're talking, and the samurai seems to be someone of worth that knows the daimyo, knows the fiefs around that area, and he tells Matahachi, hey, you sound legit, you look clean, taken care of, you strong man, who are you? So Matahachi takes that time. Instead of telling the truth, he tells a deep and gross lie. He tells them, I'm Sasaki Kojuro. a renowned samurai. And that sets off a chain reaction with this guy, and he says, okay, I understand who you are. I'm gonna go get you I'm gonna go talk to these daimyos, these fiefs, and get you a job as a retainer. You'll easily make what we would think is millions of dollars back then. So this appeals to Matahachi, so he plays the role of Sasaki Kojuro, making things up, lying, an elite swordsman. This chapter is really good. It's really long, but it focuses on Matahachi's stupendous stupidity. Matahachi ends up paying this guy so that he can go tell the daimyo, and tells him, hey, here's some money. Go tell the daimyo that I'm here and I'm ready to go to the castle to serve that castle. The man never returns, and Matahachi's waiting for him day after day. And then finally an innkeeper says, hey, what are you doing? I see that you're here waiting for somebody. Matahachi explains the story, and the innkeeper tells him, you just got ripped off. That guy does that every time to whoever he looks at and sees as a vulnerable person. You're obviously not a samurai because he caught your sense. He caught your spirit. He knows that you're a fraud, and he took your money, and he's not coming back. You'll never see that guy. So again, another lesson from Matahachi, right? Hey, Matahachi, the signs are there. Stop lying. Stop trying to find the shortcut. So he moves on, and he runs into his mother. And here's another opportunity for him to come clean, right? For him to correct his ways. But again, the mother is a huge influence to him still at this age. And nowadays you see it in men that are 30 and 40 years old, living at home, living off their parents, living with their mothers. In order for her to catch him, she has to lie to the people, the crowd. Obviously, Matahachi's young and he runs away. He's fast, so the mother can't catch him, right? So she yells out, hey, thief, and the crowd catches him, surrounds him, beats him a little bit. And the mother comes in and says, why are you beating this man? He's my son. And the crowd says, well, you told us he was a thief. So she's lying again. And this is where Matahachi gets his lies, gets his shortcuts, gets the way that he is, the way that he was raised. It's from his mother. So here we go. Yes, Mama, he said obediently, lifting his dirt-stained shoulders and getting into a kneeling position. He was afraid of his mother. She could on occasion be an indulgent parent, but her readiness to raise the subject of his duty to his ancestors made him uncomfortable. I absolutely forbid you to hide anything from me, said Osugi. Now, what exactly have you been doing since you ran off to Sekigahara? Start explaining and do not stop till I've heard all I want to hear. Don't worry, I won't hold anything back, he began, having lost the desire to fight. True to his word, he blurted out the whole story in detail about escaping from Sekigahara, hiding at Ibuki, becoming involved with Oko, living off of her, though hating it for several years, and how he now sincerely regretted what he had done. It was a relief, like throwing up bile from his stomach, and he felt much better after he'd confessed. Mumbled Uncle Gong from time to time. Osugi clicked her tongue, saying, I'm shocked at your conduct. And what are you doing now? You seem to be able to dress well. Have you found a position that pays adequately? So here, Matahachi has confessed, and those of us that know what confession is, it really feels good. It feels great to get things off your chest. To tell the truth feels absolutely morally great. There's nothing better than telling the truth. Even if you stumbled and said a white lie here and there, to correct it is the best thing you can do, right? So when we confess, we feel great. That the terrible burden that you walk with, knowing that you've lied, is lifted. You've told the truth, right? So he has told the truth. He realizes this is a better path. However, the mother, in her vanity, takes what he has given her and just mucks it up. Also, Uncle Gong is involved here. He's an old samurai, and he does tell her, hey, back off, because this is the boy that you have created, right? So here, in a line, he says, Uncle Gong, unable to restrain himself, pleaded, that's enough. If you keep on like that, it'll surely twist his nature, right? So Uncle Gong is an old samurai. And he's telling Osugi, hey, you're so oppressive to your son, you need to back off. But she immediately tongue lashes at him, says, leave me alone, this is my child, I'm raising him. Although Matahachi's a 23, 24-year-old male at this time. All right, so now he has lied again, telling her, hey, I'm a swordsman, and so on and so forth. He's trying to please her again, trying to say, hey, I haven't failed our ancestors, this samurai family, I have not failed, and I'm a swordsman. And he goes on to tell her he's got the certificate. It says Sasaki Kojuro, so he puts his thumb over it so she can't read it. She sees, but eventually he slips up and she sees that it says the certificate is for Sasaki Kojuro. He makes up another lie saying, oh, I've taken on the name of Sasaki Kojuro. You know, I'm just ashamed of my name because I've ruined it, but I've taken on the name of Sasaki Kojuro. That's what I'm going to be known as. So the mom goes ahead and believes that, right? She wants to believe that her son has not failed. So anyway, Matahachi just continues to lie in front of his mother, in front of Uncle Gong. With that in mind, the mother goes on to lie even more to Matahachi. She tells him all these lies about Musashi and what he has done, and Otsu, and how they have both betrayed his friendship, and how Otsu is now, she's run away and all this stuff. And knowing that her son just told her the truth about what he has done to throw away the relationship with Otsu and to throw his relationship away with Musashi, right? She still proceeds to tell him all these lies to rile him up, to seek revenge. So now she's planted a bad seed in his mind to go get him, right? Hey, seek revenge. You're gonna have to revenge the family. And it starts by getting Musashi, and that's their mission. These three are now on a mission to go get Musashi and go get Otsu, all based on lies. And again, I emphasize what the importance of these women in these books, in this book. It's supremely important to understand that these women impact these samurai in a major way. True to life today, women of a man, whether he's a Navy SEAL or a computer geek, they're impacted by their mothers hugely. Matahachi has no father figure, and neither does Musashi, right? They're out of the picture. But what's in the picture is the mothers, the women. Morally, a man still has to point himself in the right direction and lead by example. Matahachi's trying. He's trying. You gotta give him credit for trying. But again, he runs into his mother, and his mother points in the wrong direction, the completely wrong direction. Uncle Gong is there, and he can point the boy in the right direction. However, the mother gets in the way. This chapter isn't about downplaying mothers and their impact. It's about the wrong path, the wrong decisions. To be moral, to choose the tough, the hard, the narrow gate is the way to go. No shortcuts. Okay? Peace.